Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. The message I heard is the whole chunk. The scripture comes from Sirach 28. The vengeful will suffer the Lord's vengeance, for he remembers their sins in detail. Forgive your neighbors in justice, then you will, when you pray, your own sins will be forgiven. So, this message is for someone. You may be either you are having to deal with having a problem forgiving someone, or you are having to deal with someone that is refusing to forgive you. God is saying that regardless to your stance on this, forgive them and move forward. Okay, regardless if you are having to forgive someone for doing something to you, or if you are having to forgive someone for refusing to forgive you. Okay, because on both sides there is hurt. Okay, there is hurt that would come from, obviously, if somebody does something to you that hurts you, it is going to make you hurt. But also, if somebody is repentant, very repentant over what they did, and they feel terrible for what they did, and they are trying to make up for what they did, it would hurt if they are trying to make up to someone that is constantly telling them, no, I remember what you did. No, I remember what you did. No, I remember what you did. And sometimes forgiveness is not just for you. And it's not just, it's not just for that person. It's for you. And that's literally what the scripture says. Forgive your neighbors in justice. Then when you pray, your own sins will be forgiven. But if you refuse to forgive your neighbor for what they did to you, you may very well end up in the cycle in which you are chasing after them, and you're trying to punish them for something they already repented for. Something they have already been forgiven for. Something they did their part. And, this is, I'm looking at this cup that say big gulp. Okay, this is it's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow when you realize that God has already served the vengeance. The vengeance has been served. It was served a year ago. It's already over with, but you are still holding on to that pain. Because maybe you didn't see what God did. Or maybe you saw it, but you thought that wasn't good enough. But God says that he is the just judge, and he will give this person vengeance for what they did. Not vengeance for, how you feel about them now. Or maybe they did something to you, and now you feel like you hate them so much. God does not want us carrying hate in our hearts. That is against God. That is completely against every teaching that Christ gave. God does not want us carrying hate in our hearts. When someone does something to us, we give it to God. And if that person turns around and repents of their sin, and they turn to God, and they start walking in the ways of God, who are we to say that they can't do that? But that's what we want. That should be what we all want. We should all, that is the objective. That is the objective of any pastor, any prophet, any Christian, any evangelist, apostle, whatever it is, whatever your title is in the church of God, your goal should be for God, for the people to be saved and forgiven. Your goal would be for all these people to come back to God. It should never be that your goal is for something awful to happen. Your goal should never be for something terrible to happen. Your goal should never be to just see them in complete ruin. God says this is not of God. Okay, he wants you to forgive them, and he also wants them to forgive you. Okay, and it doesn't mean that y'all got to be best friends, and it doesn't mean y'all got to go shopping all the time, and y'all got to call each other all day long and sit on the phone for hours. But it does mean that you have come to a place where you are at peace with what that person did to you, and they are at peace with whatever it is. And that's the message. Okay, and he will forgive both of you for all of it. Okay, and that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.